Hello, in this short video, I'm going to illustrate how to create a very simple Windows Form application um, using Visual Studio 2022. First of all, you need to install Visual Studio 2022. There exists a free version. I guess it's called the community version. You can install. After installation, you can just do the following. Let me load my Visual Studio. I'm just gonna make it start. And now I have the first window here. I can say, let's create a new project. And then I can search for Windows Form app, and you're gonna make sure that you select the programming language C#, because there may be some other Windows Forms app with different languages like C++. We don't want that. In this course, we're gonna focus on C#. So let's choose this one. Then next, let me call this greetings example 1. And this is a very simple Windows Form application, in which I want to just create a simple one that prints out hello world. Just to show you how it's possible. We don't want to do anything special here. So let's press next after you select your project name. Let's keep the .NET 6.0. We don't want to change that. And after press the create button, it takes some time before the Visual Studio loads the project. On one side, you will see Solution Explorer. On the other side, you see Toolbox, Data Sources. It is still loading. It's loading the Designer. Designer is a tool that allows you to basically create and design a Windows Form application without writing too many lines of code. You can just drag and drop things into your form and create a very nice application without even writing 10 lines of code. It's a very simple procedure. Let me show you how it's possible. So in one side, I have the Solution Explorer. You can see Form 1. You can see program.cs. I'm going to show you what each of them contain. Let's click on program.cs. As you see, it is a C# source code, and all it contains is a namespace called greetings example. Inside that namespace, I have an internal static class called program. Inside that, I have my main function, which basically runs the application with the Form 1. What is Form 1? This is Form 1. This is the design tray where I can, add things to it. This is the visual representation of Form 1. If I want to get the code, I can right-click on it and I can say View Code. And this is how the Form 1 looks like. It's a subclass of Form, and it is basically made of a single constructor which calls initialize component. If I want to click on this to see the details of that, it it opens another CS file, another C# source file, which is made of some other methods and variables. More importantly, it contains this initialize component, which sets the properties of form into different values. For example, the text is the caption on the top left of the form. So let's go back. I don't want to touch any of these. I don't want to write down any code. I just want to do everything using that visual designer. So let me close the program.cs. Let me close the form1.cs. Let's only focus on this part. Let's close even the form1.designer.cs. We'll only focus on this. This will be automatically displayed when you open a WinForm application. There would be a toolbox on the top left. If you don't find it, then you can click on View and then press Toolbox. So you'll definitely find it. If you cannot find it, just go to the View and click on it, right? And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for a button. This is my button. When I click on the button on the top right, I'll see the properties of it. You see the properties like the forecolor, the font, the image, any of them can be changed. For example, let's change the forecolor text from black to some other color. Let's say menu highlight with a blue color, right? And instead of text equal to button 1, let's call this greetings, because I want to make it in a way that if the user clicks on it, it shows hello world. And when I press enter, as you see, it shows the real-time changes in the visual designer, right? I can do lots of things. I can change the layout. I can change the name of the variable representing this button. I can change lots of things, the size, the margin, the location. Location can be changed either here, or I can just drag it and drop it somewhere wherever I want. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to double click on this button. When you double click on it, some other page opens up. That's going to be form1.cs, the one that I just showed you before. And that would be basically a form that, you know, this opens like a file called form1.cs, and inside that file, it creates a new method. It's called button1.click. This is called the event handler button1click. Every button, every control object has a default event, and that event can be handled by an event handler. For button, the default event is clicking on it. What do you do with the button? The most common thing that you do is just clicking on it, right? So by double click on it, I can create an event handler for the most commonly used events of that object. In this case, I have button 1, I have button, so it's going to be button1 underline click. This shows the name of the object, control object, and this shows the event that I'm going to handle, right? So just to make you understand what's going on here, when I click on this, then this function is going to be called, right? Or this method is going to be called. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a message box. So I will say message box.show, and I'm going to print the hello world on the screen, right? That's it. Now, after you design your code and design your form and you like it and you want to run it, test it, you can just click on this green button. And I just click on green button, it's going to compile it for me, build it, rebuild it, do all the necessary things to create this application. Now I have this application ready and running, and I can test it. So if I click on this, it's going to show me the hello world message on the screen. And if I press OK, it's going to disappear. Click again, press OK. Click again, move it around, press OK. I can maximize it, press on greetings, change the window size as much as I want, press on greetings, everything works. When I close this, it's going to end the program automatically. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you a very simple program. One last thing, maybe you want to find it interesting. When I click on this form, I can check out its properties as well, right? And then I can say, let's set its text. Let's see if I can find the text. Yeah, from form 1 to hello world. Right? And as you see, it appears here, the hello world. If I run it again, I don't see form 1 anymore. I see hello world exclamation mark, as you see, right? And then just to show you that all the changes that I make in the design window happens automatically in the source code, let's right click on this and click on view code. As you see, this event handler appears here. When I click on initialize component, I can see the changes I did happen here. You see, remember I added a button in the design, in the visual design window. All the changes will automatically appear in the code, and that's why it works, right? Because the changes that you make in the design area will be translated into code in the source code files. And this is basically the button. Here I set the text equal to hello world. It was form 1 before, now it's hello world. And whatever change I do here in the design area will appear here, right? So that's all I wanted to say in this short video. Thank you.